You might have known that having goals in life helps shape your future. Writing down your goals is a good way to move you in the right directions and get things done, and for me, it's no exception. But recently, I have discovered two huge mistakes that might have been holding you back, and I would love to share with you so you can know them and deal with them. So, the purpose of setting up your goal is to have a better picture of what to do, right? So that you are not wasting too much time on other non-viable activities. And if you look up in the internet for the definition of goals, here are a few examples. According to positive psychology, life goals are what we want to achieve, and they are much more meaningful than just what we need to accomplish to survive. According to BerkeleyWellbeing.com, life goals are desired states that people seek to obtain, maintain, or avoid. All these definitions talk about how goals are desired states, and they are the representation of your very desire and reflect what you want to become, not really reflect what you should do in order to becoming like that. And that is quite the opposite of your purpose of goal setting, right? Which is to show you what to do. A very typical example of this is when I say I want to become fluent in English in the next 5 years. At a first glance, it sounds very convincing as a goal, and perhaps you can drill it even further by dividing it into smaller steps like I want to complete the beginner level by the end of the first year, then I will complete the intermediate level in the next 2 years, and then completing the advanced level in the last 2 years. Sounds perfect, right? But the problem with this is that you don't know what exactly you have to do in order to achieve such desired state, even when those are SMART goals, because there's the time limit, there's the measurement, it sounds specific, reasonable, and attainable enough, but it also sounds no different from I want to become an English speaker in my future, which is very vague and not give you a lot of information beside what you want to become in a certain amount of time. So in order to move on, you have to be very clear about what exactly is a goal. For this, I want to convince you that a goal is actually a specific action you need to take in order to achieve what you want. If you want to become fluent in English, you should notice that it's not about completing each level of fluency one by one, but about learning the new words, learning the grammar, practicing speaking, practicing writing, practicing listening and reading, and etc. Your goal should be like, I want to learn 1,000 new words about daily conversation. I want to learn the grammar used in basic conversations. And with these kinds of goals, if you break it down to smaller chunks, it will show you exactly what needs to be done each day, each month, each year. For instance, learning 5 new words daily, practicing 1 new grammar point weekly, practicing with a native English speaker once a month, and so on. You need to distinguish between your desire and your goals. This is the very first mistake that might prevent you from getting things done, and it's not an uncommon mistake. In fact, it's everywhere on the internet, so you should be careful and think hard about all the examples the internet provides you. Now, if you are familiar with the word objective, then what I'm trying to say here is that the goals are the objectives, and they are different from your desires or your dreams. And I'm also aware that in some business models, goals and objectives are different because you cannot use the word dreams and desires in professional models. Therefore, goals are the dreams and objectives are the things that need to be done in such professional models. For example, you can say the goal is to increase the sales by 5%, and the objectives are to grow the brand awareness, to create a better workspace, and so on. And I'm not disagreeing with that, but in our cases, in this video, I want to say that the goals are the objectives because they should show you specific actions you need to do so that you can follow them, track them, and evaluate them easily. With that understanding, there is another mistake I want to talk about, and it's really a brutal one that prevents you from success. And that mistake is to build your goal based on what you have little control over. In other words, you should not build your goals based on the results of the process. Allow me to explain by using a very specific example. I would say my goal is I want to lose 50 pounds of my weight in the next 6 months. Again, it's very clear, but it's also very vague. It's clear because you know that you should lose 50 pounds, but it's also vague because you have no idea what to do in reality. More dangerously, you set your goal to lose 50 pounds, and that is not entirely within your control because losing weight depends on many factors other than exercising regularly and having a proper diet. It could depend on your genes, your current medications, your work, your stress level, your sleep quality. Not to mention losing weight is not a linear process. You cannot expect to lose 7 or 8 pounds every single month equally. Therefore, goals like this make evaluation significantly more challenging. This goal is not smart enough. The measuring is difficult, even though it has its own measurement scale. To fix this, you should instead construct your goal around what you can control, like I will take a 30-minute walk every morning, I will go to the gym 4 days a week, or I will eat an extra bowl of salad and reduce half of my noodles intake in every meal. These are the things that you can do to bring you closer and closer to your ideal image. And it's also clear, easy to evaluate, and easier to follow. And even if you fail the task today, you will feel less discouraging because there is always another chance to adjust and complete such task the next day, the next week, or the next month, rather than waiting for a long period of time just to check your weight again and decide how you feel. There are other traps like this, and they are often the common life goals seen as markers of success on the internet. Things like, I want to earn $100,000 a year by the age of 25, or I want to own a house by the age of 30. At first glance, they seem reasonable because you might think that you control how much you earn. In reality, your income is mostly determined by your customers, your clients, or your employer. Other people decide your worth. However, you do control the products you create. Whether physical or intellectual, you have the control over the quality and quantity of your crafts. Only when you have mastered your craft should you be able to control your worth. So instead of saying, I want to earn a specific amount, you should focus on improving the quality and quantity of your work. You should set goals like, I want to enhance the quality and quantity of whatever you're doing. For example, like enhance my signature beef noodle soup, enhancing the flavor, trying out new ingredients, enhancing the look, standardizing the cooking procedures to make more servings a day. These are realistic goals that you can work on, and it will bring you closer and closer to your desired future, rather than keeping everything the same and wait till the end of the day to see how much you earn. Now, with that being said, your dreams are not useless. You can use them to adjust your goals and make them fit you better. What I have said before was not to write down your dreams, but write down your goals so that you know exactly what needs to be done. But don't throw away your dreams. Let it be the anchor for your goals. That means every time you start to wonder why you need to do your goals, you should look back at your dreams. And it doesn't stop there. Your dream can also be a comparative component to your end result, and it will help you adjusting your goals for the better. Let's look back at the example of losing weight. So your dream is to lose 50 pounds in 6 months. After follow through your plans, exercising and dieting properly, you lose 40 pounds. Now 40 pounds is lower than 50 pounds. Is it a bad thing? Have you failed your goal? Well, absolutely not, and let me tell you why. Firstly, your goal is not losing 50 pounds. Your goals are to have a healthier diet and to get to the gym regularly so that hopefully you will lose 50 pounds. So you are not failing. And secondly, you can analyze the time and effort you put into your goal. Have everything been maximized? Can you carve out more time for your dream without messing up your life? Have your exercises been optimized for weight loss? Can you further improve your meals? If you have everything maximized, then congratulations, you have already tried your best there, and there's nothing left to improve and there's nothing to worry about. Losing 40 pounds in 6 months is your own individualized limit, and you have achieved it with flying colors. On the other hand, if you think you can carve out more time for exercising and making a healthier diet, then these are rooms for your improvement in your next attempt. Not to mention that after all of the experiences, you will adopt new habits of exercising yourself regularly and eat more healthily, which is way better than giving up early for not seeing the immediate results. So on and on, the two mistakes that most people make in setting up their goals are the confusion between their goals and their dreams, and people try to set up their goals based on expectations too much. By focusing your goals back to specific actions that you can do and back to what you can control in reality, it actually a step further to not only make your plan more structured and concise, but also make it feel easier to follow through and easier to evaluate. So I hope these tips will be helpful. If you like the video, please consider subscribe to the channel and I hope to see you next time.